Hi there guys, I hope you are having a good day. Now, we know the date, December 12th, that is likely when Kubrat Pulev and Anthony Joshua will have their fight, but, I mean, given the current climate, we haven't been sure whether that will be moved again, because obviously it was supposed to happen in June, and it has been forced all the way back to December, but Eddie Hearn has confirmed that will not be postponed again. Anthony Joshua will fight this year 100%. There is no more postponing because of no fans or anything like that. This fight hopefully will have fans, but if it doesn't, the fight will still happen. Maybe at the O2, maybe somewhere else. It seems like it's going to be the O2 though, but ultimately this fight will not be pushed back any further than at December, which means that does not thwart any process towards Undisputed, because Anthony Joshua wants to get his mandatories dealt with, much as Tyson Fury does, so that they can deal with this Undisputed fight and have this big mega fight, maybe in spring 2021. That is a genuine possibility for this fight to happen, because obviously Dillian Whyte will be a mandatory to Tyson Fury, provided he beats Alexander Povetkin. If Povetkin were to beat Dillian Whyte again, then Povetkin will be the mandatory to Tyson Fury. So Fury will have a mandatory for the WBC, but considering what happened on August 22nd, Dillian Whyte losing when he was mandatory and guaranteed a fight in early 2021, that maybe pushes the WBC world title opportunity for that fighter back even further, meaning Undisputed could happen in spring. That is a possibility, but the important thing before talking about Undisputed, before even talking about a mandatory for the WBO against Alexander Usyk, the important thing at the moment is Kubrat Pulev. That is Anthony Joshua's next fight, December 12th. Announcement will be coming soon. So, this fight with Pulev, how do we expect it to play out? Well, ultimately, Pulev is a similar opponent to what Anthony Joshua has dealt with before, but brings his own set of skills as well. But the thing is with Pulev is that is a style that Anthony Joshua has never really struggled with in his career. Stand-up European style. So Anthony Joshua, I think, will deal with Kubrat Pulev. It's not going to be easy because this is last chance saloon for Kubrat Pulev, but still, Anthony Joshua is expected to beat Kubrat Pulev. But one thing I do believe is this is going to be a very entertaining fight as long as it lasts, because I think that the styles gel perfectly for a good fight. And I think that in the early rounds, Anthony Joshua will find his jab, find his range, maybe even work to the body to start breaking Kubrat Pulev down. But at some point, Kubrat Pulev will get desperate and eager to land. That is when he will start taking risks. When he starts to realise that he is losing rounds and rounds are ticking by, he is losing the fight. That is when he will start to get desperate, and ultimately, that is when he will make mistakes. So, the key to this fight for both fighters is to stay on course, stick to their game plan. If they deviate, then they leave themselves open to a counter, because you have a game plan set into place for your fighter who you are fighting. Anthony Joshua has one for Pulev, Pulev has one for Anthony Joshua. And there are two different scenarios that can cost a fighter in that position the fight. And that is becoming overconfident because they have won early rounds and started to get ahead in the fight. Or maybe they are behind. I know that sounds crazy, but once they are ahead and essentially schooling their opponent, that is when they become open to a counter, because maybe they try and step on their opponent and maybe force a stoppage. Maybe they believe that they are so far ahead they can get cocky. I mean, Anthony Joshua was beating Andy Ruiz Jr., knocked him down, but then as soon as Andy Ruiz Jr. got up and they started trading, that is when Anthony Joshua left himself open. So he almost got drunk on success in that fight. That can be very costly at this level. That means that the important thing for Anthony Joshua is when he is winning this fight, if he outboxes Pulev early on and is landing at will, he does not get cocky and thinks that, okay, he can step on it and stop him. Or he is so far ahead, he can start doing little different things that he doesn't normally do, things that deviate from his game plan. It's an important fight at world level. You have to stay switched on from the first bell to the final bell. That is very important at this level. And Kubrat Pulev, I don't believe, will find a foothold early into the fight. He needs to try and make Anthony Joshua make a mistake where he is able to counter Anthony Joshua, because I believe that Joshua has a better jab than Pulev, better right hand than Pulev, better combinations than Pulev, better footwork as well. Anthony Joshua seems to be better in every single department than Kubrat Pulev. They are both boxer punchers, but Anthony Joshua just pips him in every single aspect of boxing. That is why Kubrat Pulev will struggle in this fight, because AJ will pip him in every single stage of the fight. Rounds 1, 2 and 3. Anthony Joshua will definitely win those rounds. Maybe 1 to Pulev, because Pulev, let's remember, is a world title contender. He's a great fighter, and ultimately he will come to win. But ultimately Anthony Joshua is more experienced in the championship rounds and when it matters, because Kubrat Pulev has had a long career, but he hasn't been at world level and in the deep end as long as Anthony Joshua. And ultimately, I think that will show on December 12th. So guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? We have this fight locked in. December 12th, it seems like it will definitely go ahead. There might be fans there, but that would be around 1,000, maybe 2,000 if they are lucky. That is why they are doing it at the O2, to hopefully bring fans back in. But the positive thing, these fights will go ahead. The schedule has been put into place, and that is regardless of whether fans come back or not. Obviously, Eddie Hearn and even Anthony Joshua want these fans back in the arena, but if it cannot be done, then the careers of Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte, and even Derek Chisora, Alexander Usyk, they cannot stagnate as a result of what is going on, because they still need to fight. Anthony Joshua, Derek Chisora have been out of the ring for nearly a year, so it is important for them to be active, especially in this important stage of their career. Anthony Joshua is coming into his prime, so he needs to be active. This Pulev fight is a good fight for AJ, a good fight to prepare him for his next couple of fights. I mean, if you think about it, Pulev then Usyk, good preparation for Tyson Fury. You have a tall opponent with a good jab, and then you have someone with brilliant footwork, fast hands, good movement, like Fury. So in some way, Anthony Joshua is coming into his prime, but he is still learning. But his next two fights against Kubrat Pulev, then if it is Alexander Usyk, provided he doesn't go straight in to a Tyson Fury fight, those next two fights will probably teach him all he needs to learn, and all he still has to learn for his career. Then he is prepared perfectly for Tyson Fury. That will be the best Anthony Joshua going into that ring against Fury. Fury the same. If he beats Deontay Wilder, there is only one thing left for Tyson Fury to achieve: accumulate all of the belts at the same time, because besides that, the only other thing that Tyson Fury hasn't done is defend a world title. He is doing that on December 19th against Deontay Wilder. He does that, the next thing he has to do, and the only thing still left to achieve in boxing, is to hold all of the heavyweight world titles at the same time. He's won every single one of them. Obviously, he beat unified champion Klitschko. Now he has won WBC and Ring Magazine, but he hasn't held them all at the same time. Maybe he will have a crack at doing that if that AJ fight happens in spring next year. But the important thing for both fighters at the moment, Deontay Wilder for Fury, Pulev for Joshua. Guys, anyway, what are your thoughts on this? Eddie Hearn has confirmed Anthony Joshua versus Kubrat Pulev will not be postponed again. It's happening this year. Guys, anyway, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Leave a thumbs up and subscribe if you are new. Thanks, guys.